All right, everybody, bear with me as I get the camera here in the mount. And let's adjust that. And maybe tilt that up just a tiny bit. All right, I think we're good. I think we're all right. Anyway, what are we doing today? I got my first HK pistol. I have owned, probably shouldn't say this because my whatever ATF or NSA agent that's assigned to me will probably be like, what? I don't know. Over the years, I had to have owned 250 to 300 firearms of different types. I've never owned an HK pistol. So I was looking around for one. I was like, what am I gonna get? There's the VP9, but I kind of prefer hammer-fired pistols. Just something about them. I have striker-fired pistols, and I enjoy them as well. But I don't know. I actually like the hammer-fired a little bit better. Not saying they are better. They just appeal to me more. So what did I get? I went and got a P30SKS. So I'm new to the HR side or the HK side of things. And I love the USPs, but they're big guns, although not as heavy as you would think for what they are, like the USPs. Then they had the P2000s, and they came out with the P30, and then the VP9, which is the striker-fired version, basically, of the P30. So you have a similar ergonomic package, but you can choose whether, you want to know whether you want to have hammer or striker-fired. So I got this little guy. Came with all the stuff and stickers and manual and all that good stuff. And I went with this because, it's actually small enough that I could actually carry the dang thing. So what exactly is the P30? And then the SK is the subcompact. I guess that's how they spell contact in Germany. So let's do a quick weapons check. Clearance. Of course, it's a brand new gun still in the package, so I haven't played with it yet. So no chance of it being loaded, but we are unloaded. And so what it is it is a hammer-fired compact version, subcompact of the full-size P30, which is, again, the evolution from the P2000, which was then, again, the upgrade to the USP, at a much better price point as well. Polymer frame, fully ambidextrous. And let me just say this, it's ambidextrous. It drives me nuts when I see reviewers say ambidextrous. That's not a word, it's ambidextrous. So what that means is if you are a lefty or a righty, empty mag, the design of the mag release here is you use your thumb and forefinger, or you could just use one or the other, but it's the same on both sides. So you have that as ambidextrous. The safety is located on both sides. The slide release, if you're a lefty, you can drop it from the left. And the decocker is on that side. So that's the only concession, is if you're a lefty, you, instead of moving your thumb here, you're going to have to go the little extra distance. That's it. But you're already shifting your grip anyway, so you're not changing it that much. If you're a righty, it is just a little bit left, or I'm sorry, righty, it's a little bit less of a reach. Other than that, it is completely ambidextrous. Also, a lot of people sometimes struggle with their hand here. On some guns, if the mag release protrudes too much and has a soft spring, then sometimes they have a tendency under, doing rapid fire or any kind of thing where their thumb hits it or this hand hits it and drops the mag loose. Even if it doesn't come out, if it just moves out a little bit, you'll cause feeding errors because maybe your finger's still holding it from dropping. But if it were to unclick and come out just a little bit, it's not going to feed properly. So I like this design. I'm not sure why other companies don't do it that way. This is the more European or NATO, they say, way of doing things. I kind of like it. The ergonomics on this thing are really, really good. Just the way it feels. You can replace the back strap and the side that comes with different back straps. So I've got the mediums in. It came with the large for some reason, and that just felt a little too bulky. So I went to the medium, but you've also got smalls as well as the side plates. And you can use them in conjunction, which, you might want more of a hump here, but maybe put the smalls on the side to make it a little thinner. You really have different combinations of things you could do here to make it kind of fit your hand. Your hand, it's a very high grip, unlike like the SIG M11A1 I reviewed last week or 2 weeks ago. That feels like your hand is more down, so you got a lot more weight. That one's going to be a little more poppy. This, your hand really sits down in it. You can really kind of choke up on it. Should help mitigate recoil. The recoil is going to be there, but instead of coming, flipping the gun way up, I think it's going to help it stay back on target. You've got low snag Novak style sights. These are not night sights, I don't believe. These are just photoluminescent. So you charge them with a flashlight. I'm not that big on night sights. You know, if they work because they're really good night sights, then I'm fine with them. I wonder how long that dog's going to bark before my wife or someone tells the dog to shut up. I'm guessing half an hour. And it's distracting me. And people say, oh, dogs bark and stuff. But when you're trying to have a conversation and you really hate barking dogs and they just do this non-fucking stop, oh, it's very distracting from trying to have a conversation. Anyway, you've got yourself a safety here. It's a very nice tactile. You hear that? Really nice engagement. I don't tend to use them, but you could, I guess, if you wanted to carry a cocked and locked. It does render the gun inoperable. And then you can go ahead and fire it. I do like the decocker. I would prefer the decocker to be more like, this is safe, this is, so you got your safe, you got your fire, and then have it all come down and do it that way, the way SIG does, because you don't have to really alter your grip. Your thumb's already kind of there, you just go decock it. Here you do have to come back, but, you know, it works. You do have a small Picatinny rail. It does come with 2 mags. So I've got a 10 rounder with the pinky extension, which probably prints a little bit less. And even with my hands, I can just get that full grip on there. And then it also comes with a 13 rounder. So the capacity is going to be a little bit less. And that one actually does, I mean, you still get your pinky on, but also fills back here. This one feels a little bit better, but I think that's probably going to print just a tiny bit more. So I would probably carry this one in the holster on my side, and then have this one as the backup in my pocket, or, you know, however you carry. Comes with a little mag loader. I'm sure I don't know if there's a brush somewhere. Sometimes they come with it, sometimes it doesn't. If not, every other gun you have probably has it, so you got plenty of cleaning brushes. It's a really nice, solid design. The weight on this is 24 ounces, 23.99, they say. Some guns will compare it to size-wise. Never understood why people they say weight. I know a lot of people, maybe it's a Southern thing, they put a H sound in when they say W's, like where, why. It's like, A, the W comes first, but it's silent. So, and H is silent anyway. So here we've got an unloaded, I don't have a Glock 19, but this is kind of what I would compare this to as far as carry guns. Now, obviously you got your P30 365s, you got some really tiny guns and stuff, but as far as in this size, we'll do a size comparison. I guess we might as well. That is a loaded mag. Let's just redouble check. It doesn't add much in the way of bulk to it, but we are not going to rack that slide while that mag is in there. Size-wise, it's a little bit shorter. With that magazine, it's a little bit shorter height-wise. Let's go ahead and put in the larger magazine. So we'll give it worst case scenario. Now they're about equal. This is going to be, they're about the same width. This one is just a little bit shorter. Very comparable. I don't have a Glock 19. I have this Shadow Systems MR920 Combat, which is a Gucci Glock. Take that loaded mag out. Nice sights, fiber optic front, fluted barrel, all that kind of stuff. Nice trigger, nice grip. But it's the same size, takes the same holster, so essentially we're talking about a Glock 19 here. So that's really what this is kind of a competitor for. It weighs about 2 ounces more. The Glock unloaded, or I'm sorry, this one is 21.5 versus 23.99. So you're looking at 2.5 ounces. Is my math right? 2.5 ounces, basically. So not a big difference. This carries a few more bullets, so there is that. That'll take 15 round mags, as opposed to, you know, if you're carrying the 13. So the weight will change a little bit. There's gonna be slightly more ammo weight here, but you're within a couple ounces. But that's gonna be the difference. You know, this one's gonna be striker fired. It's gonna hold a few more rounds. It does have a night sight, and these are about the same price. So, you know, for people that like the Glock and like that style, but, you know, they would upgrade a barrel or upgrade to the night sights, or maybe they put a better trigger or any of those things. You can buy the MR920s from Shadow Systems, basically, with all the upgrades out of the box ready to go. Or if you like a hammer-fired pistol, you can get one that's about the same size, marginally more weight. Marginal, it's very small. But again, it's HK. It's very high quality. HK is one of the best firearms makers in the world when it comes to quality, design, durability, and all of that. Trigger pull. Long take up, but fairly light once you get there. Nice clean break. Doesn't have a lot of stacking. Reset is going to be fairly long, but then again, it's light coming back to it. And once you hit that wall right there, it's very, very light, crisp trigger pull. Your double action trigger pull, long and somewhat heavy, but it's very smooth. It's not gritty at all. There's no creep or stacking or where it feels notchy or anything like that. And that's brand new. So let's compare it to another unloaded mag. Unloaded. I would say the trigger pull on the CZ, this is a P01, so this is the aluminum frame, but this one still comes in at about 28 ounces. So this is about 4 more than that, which means it's about 6.5 more than that. So this is definitely a heavier gun, but the ergonomics on this are good. You can't adjust it other than the strap, whatever grip panels you put on there. This also is single double action, and that has your decocker on the side where it's a very natural, if you say, okay, I got a round chamber, let's just say we put a mag in, we don't, and gun is clear, we can put the gun in, or the mag in, and drop the hammer nice and safely without really having to alter your grip much. But that's gonna be about, that one's a little bit longer. The grip is a little bit taller, but once you go ahead and start putting in magazines and stuff, you're gonna be back up to about the same size. But that would be, I guess, a good comparison if you wanted to compare, well, what hammer-fired guns are in that mid-range size. The CZP01, but it is a bit bigger. Not massively bigger, but it's definitely a little bit bigger. And it definitely weighs more. This is aluminum, a lot of metal here. So it's definitely you're gonna have that weight penalty. But all in all, I really like the way this thing feels. You take it down real easy. It's just like most guns. But you go ahead and lock that back, make sure everything's clear, no magazine, nothing in there, no bullets. And then there's a pin right here. So what's nice is that this doesn't actually come out. Doesn't need to, I mean, I guess you can for disassembly purposes, but you pull it back and you push that pin through. You get that just enough, and then that'll start to pop out. And when you pull that out, you'll see on this side it's red, letting you know, hey, you just slide it off. That's it. This should be a captive spring. Barrel comes out, clean it, lube it, put it back. Very simple, very easy to do. That just locks in there. Push this back in. Once it's in, line it up, push that back. That's a really cool design. And then decock it. I like it. There's something nice about the HKs. I mean, these are all quality guns, CZ, Shadow Systems, Glocks, SIGs, but it really feels amazing. There's something when you rack the slide on this or a USP, there's just this thunk. There's just a feeling of it being solid, of it being strong, of the machining. There's not a lot of wiggle in there, a little bit. That's just a really nice pistol. So I can't wait to get this in the range. I'm gonna go to the range this week. I need to shoot this, and I don't know, we'll see. But if I can set up camera in there, if they don't care if I do that, maybe I'll get some shooting impressions, but I'm definitely going to the range this week. I need to take this to the range. And I think I'll take my little GX4, the little carry gun I've got. Haven't shot that one yet. But that is the P30SK. The weight is good. It's a little heavier if you're used to carrying like Smith J frames or P365s. Yeah, and you might look at it and go, what's the benefit of this? A 365 holds just as much ammo, but it's 8 ounces lighter and it's way smaller. Yeah, it is. This will kick a little bit less. This will probably, I think, be a little bit of a, I would say probably maybe not more durable. I mean, the 365s are durable, but this is definitely built a lot stronger. I don't know. It's up to whatever you want. What are you going to say? I just wanted to talk about, I've never had an HK before and wanted to kind of go over what my impressions are. I don't know that it's any better for carry. I guess, you know, if you're looking for ultimate firepower and concealability, the 365 probably is your better bet. But if you want something that is hammer fired, that has a decocker, it is a little bit bigger, fits your hands, you can adjust the ergos, you can put in different side panels and back panels, and you got different magazines with different bottoms on them to tailor that. You know, then maybe you want to look at something like this. It's definitely a cool pistol. So we'll get some shooting impressions of this and a couple of the other ones that I've done tabletop reviews of the guns and then said, yeah, I'll do it at the range and we'll get to shoot them and stuff. And then I never end up I'm able to do that. I'm actually going to go to the range this week and we'll do that. But this one is not optics ready. I don't know if they make ones that are. I'm pretty sure they must. The P3, the VP9, I think, is optics ready now. I'm not into optics on guns. I don't think any of these are. No. So anyway, that's all I got to say at this point. I'm just going to be prattling on. But it's my first HK. It feels really good in the hand. I did order a Phobos Elite paddle holster that should be here tomorrow, the day after. So we'll carry it and see how it feels once I load it up and, you know, see how the weight is on my hip and if it's something that I think I would enjoy. But it's definitely man, it just feels quality. That's what I like about some of these guns. You know, I'll shoot just about anything. You know, Ruger's, everything's pretty good these days. But when you get into that level of your SIG, your HK, CZ, things like that, Glock, they just feel, you know where your money's going. I think I paid $700 for this out the door, brand new. So, which is not bad for a brand new, that was with taxes and everything. So for a brand new HK out the door in today's market, it was like $701 with tax, something like that. So I'm going to order up some spare mags for it, but I think that's going to make a cool little carry gun. Anyway, that's all I got for today, folks. If you like this stuff, hit like, subscribe, and like I said, hopefully I'll get some shooting videos soon where you can go and see what it's like, see what the recoil's like, and see how accurate it is and things like that. Maybe I'll do a shootout and say, look, let's take the Gucci Glock, let's take this, and maybe one of my SIGs, and say for that mid-size, compact, 21 to 27 ounce, whatever range, you know, which one shoots better, which one's more accurate. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take these 3 guns to the range this week, and we'll do a little bit of a comparison and see how they stack up against each other, you know, actually being used. So stay tuned for that, folks.